Hello everyone, today I'll be presenting a focused environmental analysis of China. My international business proposition is to export wild Alaska salmon to China's premium seafood market, reaching urban health-conscious high-income customers through e-commerce and food service channels. China is in East Asia and it has over 1.4 billion people, making it the most populated country in the world. That means there's a huge potential market, but also a lot of complexity. Most of the country's wealth and development is found in the eastern coastal cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou. These areas have modern infrastructure and strong business networks. In contrast, the western regions are less developed with lower income levels and weaker logistics, which can make doing business there more difficult. China has 56 official ethnic groups, but about 92% of the population is Han Chinese. This majority shapes most of the cultural and business practices, though there are still regional differences across the country that can affect how business is done. Another key point is the aging population. As the population gets older, it's starting to impact the workforce and customer habits, especially in areas like healthcare and wellness. China is the second largest economy in the world with a GDP of over 18 trillion as of 2025. It's still growing steadily with an annual GDP growth rate of about 5.2%, which is still strong compared to most developed economies. One of the biggest drivers of this growth is China's fast-growing middle class, now over 400 million people. This group is spending more on higher quality goods and services, which creates big opportunities for both local and foreigner businesses. China also plays a major role in the global economy. It contributes to over 28% of the world's manufacturing output, making it a key part of international supply chains. It's also the world's largest exporter and the second largest importer, with major trade partners including the United States, the European Union, and the ASEAN countries. China is investing heavily in the future as well. It spends more than 2.5% of its GDP on research and development, focusing on areas like artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, and green energy that makes it a hotspot for innovation and new industries. Many shoppers have a strong preference for foreigner brands, seeing them as higher quality and more reliable, which is great news for international companies. But there's a split when it comes to the price. Older consumers are more price sensitive, so offering value is important for that group. On the other hand, younger consumers are willingly to pay a premium for products that stands out. Health and personal care products are growing in popularity, so businesses in those sectors can tap into a rapidly expanding market. The concept of face culture means branding and packaging can make a big difference. Buyers often pay more for products that boost their social status, so investing in premium packaging and a strong brand image pays off. E-commerce is booming, especially among young urban shoppers who value convenience and variety. This means companies should prioritize online sales channels and digital marketing. Social media is a powerful tool for influencing buying decisions. Businesses that use influencer and create engaging content can quickly build brand awareness and drive sales. When doing business in China, culture plays a big role. One big concept is guanxi, which is all about building strong personal relationships and trust. Business deals often depend on these connections, so investing time in relationship is really important. There's also a strong respect for hierarchy and authority. Decisions usually come from the top, so knowing who the key decision makers are is crucial. The idea of face or Minty is another cultural cornerstone. People work hard to avoid embarrassment or losing respect, so being polite and showing respect is crucial in any interaction. China's collectivist culture values group harmony over individuals' opinions, so businesses needs to be aware of how decisions might be influenced by maintaining good group relationships. In Chinese business culture, people often communicate indirectly. Instead of saying no directly, they might say things like maybe or it could be difficult. So it's important to read between the lines and pay attention to how things are said, not just the words used. China is a huge country with lots of regional diversity. Tastes and preferences can vary a lot depending on where you are, so localizing your approach can really make a difference. Okay, so now I'll briefly go over some of the key political and legal challenges that international businesses face when operating in China. First, there's a lot of regulatory red tape. Approvals can take a long time, and the process is often unclear. Even local officials sometimes aren't sure about um, who has the final say. Guanxi or personal relationships plays a big role in navigating the system. In many cases, having strong connections with government officials matters more than having a solid contract. Another challenge is conflict between the local and central government. A project may be approved or supported locally, but still get blocked by central authorities, especially if environmental or political concerns are involved. Intellectual property's protection is also a concern. Many foreigner companies worry about their ideas being copied since enforcement of IP laws is still weak in some regions. There are also ownership restrictions. In many industries, foreigner companies can't fully own or control their business, which limits their strategic flexibility. The legal system around financing is still developing. It's hard to get loans or use asset, which can limit the growth and investment options. Doing business in China also comes with some real challenges. First, the competition is intense. Chinese companies, both state-owned and private, are strong, fast-moving, and often deeply connected to local markets. It can be hard for foreigner businesses to stand out or to keep up. There's also the issue of rising tensions between the US and China, which creates uncertainty for trade and investment. Changes can quickly affect business relationships or market access. Another big challenge is the regulatory environment. Laws and rules can sometimes be unclear and or change without much notice, which makes it hard to plan long term. Staying compliant can be risky and expensive, especially for companies unfamiliar with the local system. Labor costs is Labor costs in China have also gone up, especially in major cities. It's not the cheap labor cost it used to be, so businesses needs to factor that into their cost strategies. And lastly, China has very strict data and cybersecurity laws, which can be a major barrier, especially for tech companies or anyone collecting customer data. There are rules about where data is stored, who can access it, and how it's used, and breaking them can lead to serious consequences. China has a very developed transportation network, including roads, railroads, ports, airports, all of which makes it easier to move products around the country quickly and efficiently. Distributors plays a big role in sales and marketing, and it's common for them to have exclusive rights in certain regions. So businesses often need to work with multiple partners to cover the whole market. China is also home to some of the world's busiest ports and logistic hubs, which makes importing and exporting on a large scale more efficient. Recently, there's been strong growth in logistics centers in the inland cities like Wuhan and Chengdu, which helps companies reach more of the countries beyond just the coastal areas. And of course, online distribution is massive. Platforms like Alibaba and Taobao lets business reach customers directly, often with fast shipping and built-in marketing tools. E-commerce is a great way to scale quickly, especially for brands targeting young and tech-savvy shoppers. Okay. In conclusion, China's business environment is shaped by a mix of cultural, political, and economic factors. These factors present both opportunities and challenges for international businesses. A strong understanding of local environment is essential for developing effective market entry strategies. This analysis provides a strong foundation for more detailed planning in the final report. All right, thank you, everyone.